Hello. Today we are going to discuss Python operators, which works on individual bits. I'll explain what is the meaning of this statement. So till this session we have discussed arithmetic operators, we have discussed all the comparison operators, and we have also discussed the assignment operators, like the shortcut operators like plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, and all these things. Today we are going to discuss the logical operators and the bitwise operators. So the logical operators are generally used with the conditional statements when you want to write multiple conditions in one statement, and the bitwise operators works on individual bits. So whenever we write any number, we'll always write the number in decimal format. But there are multiple other representations of the number, and specifically in terms of computers, every number is stored in terms of binary. So the bitwise operators, using bitwise operators, we can work with individual bits which are part of the binary of the decimal number. So now we'll discuss the logical operators and bitwise operators in this session. So this is a kind of summary of logical operators. We have three logical operators in Python. First is OR operator, second is AND operator, and third is NOT operator. So you can see these are the tables for these logical operators. So I have, suppose, two expressions, x and y, and suppose the value of x or the expression x returns true and expression y also returns true. So if both the expressions are true, then what will be the output of OR and NOT, and so on. So likewise, this table tells you all the answers for all the logical operations which are possible in Python. So now we'll discuss this table in a short time. Suppose the first expression returns true and second expression returns true. So in case of OR, true or true is always true. True or false is also always true. False or true is also true, and only false or false is only false. So you can see either of the condition, even if either of the condition is true or both of the conditions are true or expressions are true, in that case the result is true. Only when the both expressions are false, the OR results into false. Now this is the AND operation. In case of AND operation, it is the exactly opposite. Only when both the expressions are true, both the conditions are true, only then x and y is true. Or otherwise, even if one of the expression is false, or if both the expressions are false, then the answer is false. And in case of NOT, it is just returning the complement. So in case of x, if it is true, it will return false. In case of false, it will return true. So these are the three logical operators in Python: OR, AND, and NOT. So now we will see how to use them and what is the use case example of these logical operators. So logical operators are used to combine conditional statements, as we have discussed. So first is AND, it returns true if both statements are true. That is also we have discussed. So for example, if I want to check both the conditions, x is less than 5 and x is less than 10, and if both the conditions are true, then only I have to execute something. So in that case, I can use AND between two conditions. Next is OR operator. It returns true if one of the statements is true. So either I have to check if x is less than 5 or x is less than 4. Even if either of the condition is true, then I have to execute something. Then I can use OR in this fashion. Similarly, I can use NOT if I have to check the reverse of the result. So reverse the results, returns false if the result is true. So now I'll see some examples of how to use these logical operators. Now look at this example. In this case, I am accepting a month from the user. So enter a month, that is the message which I am giving to the user. This is another way to accept the input. So I am combining the input and the print statement in one line. So this will print the message enter a month on the screen, and whatever input is given by the user, which is in the format of string, will be converted into integer because of this typecasting function and will be stored into M. So M is storing some month number. I just want to display, if I have entered April, that is 4, then I want to display a message, it is a 30-day month. If I enter 5, that is May, I want to display it is a 31-day month, something like that. So my condition is if M is equal to 1, I'm comparing in case of January, March, May, July, August, the November, October and December. In these cases, I will have 31-day month. Now my M can be either January or March or May and so on. So I have to use OR logical operator. So we can combine multiple conditions using logical operators. And here I have combined 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 conditions with OR operator. In any case of value of M between 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, I want to print a message, it is a 31-day month. Similarly, for values of M as 4, 6, 9, 11, I want to print it is a 30-day month. And in case of M is equal to 2, if it is a leap year, then it is a 29-day month. And if it is not a leap year, it is a 28-day month. Now I know that this is not the only simple logic to define the leap year. So we can replace this logic by leap year's logic. I want to just show you that how to use the logical operators. So if this is my input, enter a month. If I enter 4, it is giving me an output as it is a 30-day month. And that is how we can use OR operator. Now this is a use case of AND operator, an example of AND operator. I'm accepting 3 numbers from user A, B, C. So A is my first number, B is my second number, and C is my third number. Now if A is greater than B and A is also greater than C, that means A is the max. That is what I'm printing, print A is max. But if A is not greater than B or A is not greater than C, either of the conditions is not true, in that case it will not go into the if part, so it will come to the else part. In else I have written another if, that is elif. So this means when I'll come to elif, my maximum is not A, definitely. So my maximum is between B and C, so I'll just check if B is greater than C, then print B is max. Now, if this condition is also not true, that means my third number which is remaining is max. So print C is max. So this is how you can use AND operator if required to check multiple conditions at a time. And if both the conditions are true, then only it will come and print A is max. So in this case, you can look at the output. My code is printing the maximum number. So this is how you can use AND operator. Now look at this example. I want to use NOT operator in this case. So I'm taking one number as input from the user. If the number is 0, I want to print a message, it is a 0. And if it is not a 0, I want to print a message, it is a non-zero number. So when I'll accept a number, then I'll check if not n. Now how not will work? If n is 0, what is not 0? Not 0 is true. So that means if condition results into true, it will print it is a 0 number. Else it is printing it is a non-zero number. So I have given the code with both the types of inputs with 0 and 12. For the same code, it is giving proper message. For 0, it is a 0, and for non-zero, it is a non-zero number. So whenever required, we can also use this NOT operator as and when required. One important thing to remember, we have discussed this in operators also, the implementation rule. In case of multiple logical operators, Python always evaluates the expression from left to right. So this is what happens with other operators also. So you have to remember that in case of execution, the execution happens from left to right. Now the next type of operators are bitwise operator. So the bitwise operators are used to perform bitwise calculations on integers. So this is very important to understand and remember in Python. Python bitwise operators can work only on integers. The integers are first converted into binary and then operations are performed on bit by bit. So whatever number you have taken as input, it can be in decimal format, but if you apply the bitwise operator on any number, by default that number is converted into a binary and then the operation is performed on individual bits. Hence the name is bitwise operator. Again, the result is written into the decimal format. So you don't have to convert back that binary into decimal. Now these are the bitwise operators which are available in Python. This is bitwise AND, this is bitwise OR, this is bitwise NOT, this is bitwise XOR, and then we have two shift operators. One is right shift and second is left shift. And this is how you can use these operators with the operands or variables. Now we'll discuss all these bitwise operators one by one in details. Now the first bitwise operator is AND operator, and this is different from logical AND, so the symbol is ampersand AND. So you can see the code, you can see the explanation, but first we'll look at the table. So in case of bit 1 and bit 2 values, different values are there, and output for AND, OR, AND, XOR, and NOT is given in this table. So now we'll focus on AND operator. Look at the result. As we say that in case of bitwise AND operator, it returns 1 if both the bits are 1, else 0. So if 1 and 1, bit 1 is 1, bit 2 is 1, 1 and 1 is 1. Otherwise, even if any one symbol is 0, 1 and 0, 0 and 1, 0 and 0, all the results are 0. So that is how bitwise AND operator is working on individual bits. So in the code segment, we are taking two values, A with initial value 10 and B with initial value 4, and I'm trying to print the value of A and B. So A and B, it is giving the output as 0. Now I'll see why the output is 0. Now when I say A equal to 10, the binary of 10 is 1010. And when I say B equal to 4, the binary of 4 is 0100. Now when I say A and B, if I use bitwise AND on A and B, then it will use the AND operator on the individual bits of 1010 and 0100. So we'll go to the rightmost bitwise bit of the binary. So this 0 and 0, rule says 0 and 0 is 0. Then 1 and 0 is also 0. Then 0 and 1 is also 0, and 1 and 0 is also 0. So if I use bitwise AND on individual bits from right to left, then I'll get all 4 zeros. All 4 zeros in binary is 0 in decimal. That's why I'm getting the output as 0. So this is how bitwise AND operator is executed. The next operator, bitwise operator, is OR operator, and this is a symbol of OR operator. Now bitwise OR operator returns 1 if either of the bit is 1, else it will return 0. So the second column in case of results is for OR operator, bitwise OR operator. So 1 or 1 is 1. 1 or 0 is also 1. 0 or 1 is also 1. So either one of the bits has to be 1 or both of the bits can be 1. The answer is 1. Only in case of both the bits are 0, the answer of OR is 0. Now the same code with A, value of A as 10 and value of B as 4. If I try to print A or B, it is giving me the result as 14. Now why the answer is 14? Again the same binary of A is 1010 and binary of B is 0100. Now if I try to use OR operator, bitwise OR operator on A and B, it is implementing OR on this 0 and this 0, right to left. So 0 or 0, my answer is 0. 1 or 0, answer is 1. 0 or 1, answer is also 1. 1 or 0, answer is 1. So I'm getting 1110 in binary is 14 in decimal. So I'm getting answer as 14. So this is how OR operator executes. Now the next bitwise operator is NOT operator, and this is the symbol of NOT operator. The bitwise NOT operator returns ones complement of the number. So those who are aware of ones complement can understand this. So in terms of bits, in case of input is 1, the NOT operator will give 0, and in case of 0, the NOT operator will give output as 1. So you can look at the code segment. If A is equal to 10, and if I try to print NOT of A, which is bitwise NOT of A, I'm getting answer as -11. So you can implement the logic of 1's complement on this number, and you will easily find the answer is -11. Very rarely we use bitwise NOT in practical situations. So this is how bitwise NOT is executed. Now the last bitwise operator is XOR. And as the name suggests, XOR, it returns 1 if one of the bits is 1 and other is 0. So that is a condition. One of the bit has to be 1 and the second has to be 0. If both are 0 or if both are 1, then it returns false. Okay. So if you look at the table, 1 XOR 1 is 0. 1 XOR 0 and 0 XOR 1. Because one of the bit is 1, the answer is 1. And 0 XOR 0 is also 0. So only in case of either of the bits is 1, the answer is 1. If both bits are same, either 1 or 0, then the answer is 0. So I'm giving the same input again, A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 4. And if I try to print A XOR B, I'm getting the answer as 14. I have given the explanation. You can use the table of the XOR and you can find out why the answer is 14. Again, in real life situation, we very rarely use XOR operation, bitwise XOR operation. And this is how XOR is executed. Now the next segment is bitwise shift operators. In that we have two shift operators. One is bitwise right shift operator and second is bitwise left shift operator. As the name suggests, right shift, we are trying to shift the bits on the right hand side. So that is bitwise right shift operator. It shifts the bits of the number to the right and fills 0 on the void left as the result. Similar effect as of dividing the number with some power of 2. So suppose similar effect as of dividing the number with some power of 2. So suppose if I write one number in binary, suppose my decimal number is 10 and the binary of 10 is 1010. That is what we have discussed in previous example. So if I try to right shift this binary by 2 locations. So this binary is right now 1010. Now I am trying to shift this binary on right hand side by 2 locations. So this 0 will go and this 1 will also go. So my binary will look like this 1 will come here and this 0 will come here, and I'll have 2 blank positions on the left hand side. That's why it is said that 0, it fills 0 on the void left as a result. So these 2 positions will be filled by 0. So the decimal 10 is now converted into decimal 2. So that is how right shift operator works. But what is important and interesting in terms of right shift operator, it gives similar effect as of dividing the number with some power of 2. So look at this example. The initial value of A is 100. And I'm trying to print the value of A with right shift 1 or right shift 2 and right shift 3. So now when I'm trying to right shift 100 by one location, the binary of 100 by one location, I'm getting a reduced value of 50. You always remember that whenever you right shift a binary, that means you are shifting binary on the right hand side and then you are filling the left void left by 0, you are going to get a reduced number. From 10 I'm getting 2. So when I'm right shifting 100 by one location, I'm getting the answer as 50. So you can consider this is 2 raised to 1, so I'm getting half of 100, which is 50. Then if I try to print value of 100, value of A, that is binary of 100, with right shift of 2 locations. So I'm trying to right shift the binary of 100 by 2 locations and I'm getting answer as 25. So 2 to the power of 2 is 4, 2 raised to 2 is 4. So if I divide 100 by 4, I'm getting 25. And then if I try to right shift binary of A by 3 locations, that is 2 raised to 3, that is 8. And if I try to divide 100 by 8, I'm getting 12 point something. So my answer is 12. That's why it is said Similar effect as of dividing the number with some power of 2 is the output in case of bitwise right shift operator. Now similar to right shift, we have a bitwise left shift operator where we try to shift the bits of the number to the left. And because we are now shifting the binary to the left, whatever is void there is on the right hand side, that will fill with 0 and fills 0 on the void left as a result. Similar effect as of multiplying the number with some power of 2. So in case of right shift, we are trying to divide the number by the power of 2. In case of left shift, we try to multiply the number with the power of 2. So look at this example. First example, initial value of 5 is 1, and then if I'm trying to print value of a with left shift by 1, left shift by 2, and left shift by 3. So if I shift the binary of 5 by one location on the left hand side, I get value of 10. So 2 raised to 1 is 2, 5 2s are 10. If I try to shift binary of a on the left by 2 positions, 2 raised to 2 is 4, 5 4s are 20, I get 20, sorry. And if I try to shift binary of a on the left hand side by 3 locations, that is 2 raised to 3 is 8, I am getting 8 5s are 40. So it gives similar effect as of multiplying the number with some power of 2. Now this is another example that if I just try to left shift the binary of 1 by multiple locations, what I am getting is I'm getting 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, and 2 raised to 3. So if you want to calculate 2 raised to n, instead of writing a complex code, you can just use a single statement with a left shift operator. And we'll discuss this example in more details on next slide. But this is how the bitwise operators are used. The bitwise shift operators are used. Right shift and left shift. Right shift is generally for gives the result as of dividing the number, and left shift gives the result as of multiplying the number by the power of 2. So this is what we have discussed, that we can calculate 2 raised to n using a left shift operator. So suppose you want to calculate 2 raised to n. In a normal case, you will write this code. So now first we'll discuss this code using a while loop, how we can calculate 2 raised to n. Suppose I'm taking input of n as 5. So value of n is 5. Answer is initially 1. That is what I am doing in the code. Answer is equal to 1. I'm checking a while condition while n is greater than 0. So from 5, I'll go down till the value of n becomes 0. And what I'm doing is I'm doing answer is equal to answer into 2. So I'm multiplying 2 with 2 for n number of times. That is a simple logic. So first of all, value of n is 5. So 5 is greater than 0. Yes. So it will come inside and it will do 1 into 2 is 2. And then n equal to n minus 1. So n will become 4. Now again, it will check 4 is greater than 0. Yes, 4 is greater than 0. So it will come inside the while loop. It will do 2 into 2 is 4 and n will become 3. 3 is greater than 0. Yes, it will become 8 and n will become 2. 2 is greater than 0. Yes, it will become 16 and n will become 1. 1 is greater than 0. Yes, answer will become 32 and now n is becoming 0. Now when n is equal to 0, now 0 is not greater than 0. 0 is equal to 0. So condition is false. So it will come outside the while loop and then I'm printing the answer. Now answer is 32, which is 2 raised to 5. So in this case, I am writing a code with one while loop and then I'm writing 2 instructions inside the while loop and lot of things are happening. And then I'm getting the answer of 2 raised to 5 as 32. But the similar code can be replaced by a single one-line statement using a left shift operator. If I want to print 2 raised to n, then I have to just left shift the binary of 1 by 5 positions. So you can write down the binary of 1 on a pen and paper and you can try to left shift the binary of 1 by 5 positions. You will get 32. I'll show you how. What is a binary of 1? Binary of 1 is lot of zeros and ending with 1, for example. So this is my binary of 1. Now I want to left shift the binary of 1 by 5 locations. So this 1 I'll left shift on this side by 1 location, 2 location, 3 locations, 4 locations and 5 locations. So my 1 will come here. My 1 will come here, and whatever void locations, empty locations I have, I will fill those locations by 0. I'll fill those locations by 0. Now this is 1 raised to 0, 2 raised to 0 is 1. Then if you look at the next number is 2, 4, 8, 16 and 32. So what you get is 32. Answer as 32. And that is what is the use of left shift operator. 2 raised to 5 is 32. Now this is the operator precedence. Now why I am displaying this chart again, because we have discussed the operator precedence in past also. But now with the addition of multiple new operators, this is the kind of final operator precedence chart. So the highest precedence is for exponential operators, that is power operator. Then we have next precedence for the not, plus and minus, which are unary operator. Then we have multiplication, division, remainder, and the integer division, or which we can call it as a floor division method. Then we have normal addition, subtraction, which are binary methods, binary operators. Then we have right shift and left shift operators. Then precedence is for bitwise AND, bitwise OR, and bitwise XOR. And then we have the comparison operators, all comparison operators. Then the precedence is for the assignment operators. Then identity and membership operators. And the last is logical operators, logical AND, logical OR, and logical NOT. Now almost all the operators now we have discussed till this session. Only left is identity operator and membership operator. So in further sessions, as and when required, we'll also discuss identity operators and membership operators. So that's it. In this session, we have discussed logical operators and or not, bitwise operators, bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise NOT, and bitwise XOR, shift operators, left shift and right shift, and we have also seen the operator precedences.